they could access at the time because
Yeah.
they believe war is, a terrible thing. Well, maybe it is and maybe it isn't. I no longer even have a judgment about it. So it's interesting with tomorrow's new moon. I mean, your call is very timely, and it's got little or nothing to do with Fatima, but it triggers an explosion of ideas because the new moon tomorrow is in Taurus. And Taurus is that sign of resistance and like overly structured and stubbornness and sometimes almost bullheaded, right? And so So everything in our value system, which has been in lockdown because whatever it is, whether you were born in any religion whatsoever, that's the value system that we adhere to, and therefore that's right. And yet this new moon is really coming for an evaluation. To look at what you value and to really... maybe I don't know, can I lighten up? Can I, what is she saying?
I need to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So glad I got through.
I'm so glad you did too. And it truly, now that I've completely elevated the Blessed Mother to where she actually belongs, okay?
Yes, thank you.
In addition to that, honestly, the message is complete celebration. You are just to go and sing and dance inwardly at all times.
Okay.
No worries. Leave your other boys home. Leave your husband home. Leave the dogs home. Leave everybody home. Do not pack
I really
them.
am excited.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. And Darren is a very easy person to travel with, and he's just, whatever you want to do, Mom.
This is such a great gift. It's such a great gift for the two of you.
It's an unbelievable gift.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm so thankful.
Yeah, yeah. For those of you who don't know what's happening here, Susan, who's in Texas, has a few sons, but this son, he won a gift, right, Susan?
Yes, he made a sales club at his company.
Okay. And the gift is to go to Portugal, right?
For a week.
For a week. And as life circumstances kind of shook out, the person he had hoped to go with initially is no longer available. And so this is when Mom gets to go.
Yay, Mom!
Yeah. I mean, this is to me for a job well done. It's almost his soul's way of saying, thank you, Mom.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
So I will definitely be with you in thought and happiness every step of the way.
Okay, and I will call you when I get back.
Okay, my friend. Blessings on that
you.
journey.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So some of you are probably in a state of total shock when you are listening to me sometimes. But I encourage you to have your voice heard. You know, if what you have heard is offensive or doesn't sit right, let's talk about it. You are valuable to me. You see, that's what I'm really coming to understand here, especially as this moon is going into the house of value systems. So, okay, somebody's brave enough. Hi there. Who's on the line?
This is Holly.
Hi, Holly. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, I have a question. Everything is chaotic right now, and I feel that. And it seems to be the career side of my life more so.
Okay.
So, we've talked about that before. But it's, my current job, but then Mom and I are doing some other stuff and branching out onto our own. Do you have any feelings on where this is headed, or?
Well, let's just take one step at a time here. Could you give me Oh, you have to turn the background radio off. You have to do that first. Okay?
Yeah, she got out of the car.
Okay. Okay. And remind me, Holly, your year of birth and your month.
January 1967.
Okay. January 1967. So you are a fire horse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you came in as Ken. All right. So the chaos, actually, if I had to pinpoint when the chaos could have, would have, should have been even more intense, would be in the year of 2016. So this year, energetically, it's supposed to be lifting. Now, that being said, I'm still seeing many people who are this Ken energy, which you are. It doesn't seem to be like lifting off, and there's got to be deeper reasons for that. One of them is there is just a huge amount of unsettlement. You can see it. I mean, you go to a simple restaurant and you see it in the faces of the diners and the servers, and so there's a whole lot of chaos around. Now, you've sort of mentioned two things, your career, but then starting something with Mom.
Right. Mom and I are doing kind of branching out and trying to do different classes and crafts and that type of thing.
Okay. But what's the but?
My full-time job is I'm still there, you know.
Okay.
But it's very chaotic and dark right now.
Mm-hmm. And I would tell you, I hear that so consistently from anybody who works with people. And the more people that are involved in the business or the organization or the service, the more chaotic it is. Mm-hmm. So your job, if you're choosing to stay, is to be the eye of the storm, be the center of it. Now, that's going to take some discipline of remembering who you are. And it's a consistent discipline, and it's not hard. It's just people don't do it. It's kind of like it's not hard to pick the apple over the cupcake, but we just don't do it. Mm-hmm. Financially, it's not the time for you to leave that business, is it?
I don't think right now it is, no.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It doesn't feel like it. So is it additional pressure to try to do something in addition to that, like with your mom? Is that adding almost insult to injury?
Well, it's more pressure, but it's enjoyable to do.
Okay.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just not fun anymore what I do.
Okay.
I used to really enjoy it.
Remind me what you do.
I do accounting.
Okay. And when did it lose its charm?
Within the last year, year and a half.
Any special reason? A change of head of state or something? Any?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay, change of power. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the struggle right now.
Okay. And you know enough that when we struggle against something, it's got a reverse effect. The struggle becomes more intense?
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So step one, whether you like it or not, it's going to be give up the struggle. And that's so interesting because this is all connected with tomorrow's new moon. Mm-hmm. Because that Taurian energy does not want to give up the struggle. And if you give up the struggle, it will, that role and you know, the hours that you put in there will be a lot lighter. So I guess the question to you is, can you give up the struggle? Can you see how dangerous it is and how it's affecting you?
Yeah, I've been trying to.
Okay, that's good.
Do that. Just be in the light. Let it go. Mm-hmm. What's going to happen is going to happen.
Okay. Well, I'm going to make a slight recalibration to what you just said. Be in the light. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's impossible. Get over that. You cannot be in the light. You are the light. And just that subtle shift, I am the light, will, the other is like, I have to get there. And oh my God, I fell out of the light. And oh my God. So stop trying so hard to be in it, because you're it. You're far greater than the being in it. You're it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same principle when the New Agers say to somebody, oh, I send you love and light. Oh my goodness. That is so obscene. You can't send me love and light. I'm already it. Come up with another one. Send me a flower. That'd be nice. So you see these subtle recalibrations. They're very meaningful and they're very powerful. There's a lovely little thing I read today. It may seem like it doesn't apply to you, but it does. And that's why it was like the last thing I had to look at before I left the house. There was a master teacher having tea with one of his students. And a little 7-year-old girl apparently called in and said to the master teacher, do Buddhas paint their toenails? And the teacher simply said, do you paint your toenails? And she said, yes, and hung up. And they both understood. She got it. She is the Buddha.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where you need to have that little recalibration. You are the Buddha. And you are in charge of your world. And you are in charge of dropping the stress. My concern is the stress has become now almost habitual. And it's like you wake up and go, ugh. And so you're not even aware of that. You keep putting on that cloak. But as you become more conscious, more, in this second, and the truth is, in this immediate now, right now, when you and I are speaking, there's no stress. And so everything can drop away. So I have this mantra. I'm telling you, Holly, I use it now, left, right, up, and down. I say to myself 1,000 times a day when the situation arises, drop it. Drop it. So you wake up in the morning and you have an unhappy feeling, say to yourself, drop it. You see the new boss's angry face, drop it. Because it's just a costume. And your job is to be that calm in the center of it. As you stay centered in that, the opportunity will present itself. Or it'll recalibrate so you're okay staying. One way or another, it's a win-win.
Mm-hmm.
So, I am concerned that trying to start a second thing, and I know you've got family and children, you got the whole enchilada. So, yeah. So it's kind of like, exactly when are you going to have that quality focus to begin a second thing? It's a bit of a stretch. It's not impossible. But to accomplish it, geez, you're going to have to, talk about juicing. You're going to have to juice the most amazing stuff so that you are fully conscious and alert. How's your that brings me to, how has your nutrition been?
Not good.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't been paying attention.
Okay. You're slipping and sliding, which is normally how it does go. It's almost like which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Did the stress come first, or did the nutrition dropping go first? Ordinarily, from what I see, it's the nutrition dropping. So what you just said is very profound. You said, I haven't been paying attention. That is so profound, you have no idea. Right in that little sentence is your healing. And I don't know if you caught the beginning of this show, but this show had a frequency of cellular healing for the listeners today. So
no, I caught it.
Okay, so I wonder if that was just for you. I I always wonder, is this for one